Cave with Mike and Max.
Welcome back to the Chat Cave here on McGTV. That's youtube.com/MikeMcGTV. As always, I am Mike McG, joined by my co-host Blaximus here for talking Batman. But this time we're talking more the villains of Batman, because we got a couple of villains that have had some big projects that came out, and we need to catch up on that and discuss that here.
Yes. I think a lot of good, a lot. This has been really good. We're celebrating the other, like Batman has gotten kind of stale, kind of boring. So let's delve into some of the other stuff going on. Let's go to the other side of it. Let's see the villains. I'm happy with how things are going right now. Because I'm a fan of everything that's come out as far as Bat villains are concerned.
All right. Well, let's talk about the first one then, and we can probably keep it brief on this one because I know you talked a lot about what you enjoyed about this movie. I've kind of hinted here and there some stuff about the movie, but Joker, Folie, Deux. We both have seen it.
Dude. Yes, and I very much enjoyed it. It did feel a bit long, but I really liked the movie. I liked the parts where he was going insane and everything was bombastic and fantastic, and I liked, just like the gritty freaking what they put him through, the torture, basically. I thought it was all I thought it was very, very well done. It did feel a bit long. That is like my one and only real complaint about the movie. I thought everyone did a very, very good job.
Were you a fan of the first one?
Yes, yes, I was. I am. I should say that didn't change. But yeah, I liked the first one, and I thought this was a good sequel. I was like, this one is like Taxi Driver meets Rocket Man, and
Yeah.
or maybe One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest meets Rocket Man.
This is gonna be a first here probably on this podcast because I don't think we've had major kind of differences of opinions on a lot of the media we've consumed in terms of Batman stuff. I did not care for Joker Folie, dude.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. And the thing is, you actually tried to sell me on it because you saw it before me. And I remember you and Jason were trying to really sell me on it. And I was kind of more in the bag for this one than I was the first one, because my whole thing with the first movie is I was very down the middle whatever about it, because you mentioned, Taxi Driver, and I'm like, yeah, it's clearly lifting from that. And so part of me was like, I've seen this done better.
Right.
So I was very kind of just whatever about the first Joker. So when musical was going to pop up for the sequel, and it was going to be like, okay, they're going to deconstruct a little bit of what they built up in the first movie, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in for that. And you guys, when you went to go see it, like told me like a lot of this stuff happens here and there, and it's going to really defy your expectations of what you think the sequel's going to be. And so I saw it, and I'm sorry. It didn't do anything for me. I can't. I'm not one of those people. It's like, oh, this is a complete like blasphemy of the first movie, because I was so whatever about the first movie that I'm like, that's what I'm in the bag for, was them basically being like, no, like let's take away the mythology that's been built around not just the Joker in this universe, but the movie the Joker overall, because it's like everyone gravitates to that as some sort of like big flag of like, oh my gosh, this will revolutionize R-rated comic book movies, and then it's like here in the sequel, it's like, yeah, he's just some dude, and a lot of terrible stuff happens to this dude.
Yeah, he's a sad dude.
And I'm not saying that can't be interesting. Like that's kind of what Taxi Driver was, some random everyday dude who gets pushed too far. But I just didn't find this interesting. It just I felt like Joaquin was kind of, he's an old hat at this performance at this point, so he wasn't really adding anything to really elevate beyond what he did in the first one, I felt.
Yeah.
I felt Lady Gaga was fine, but she wasn't given a lot to do as Lee. and all the supporting people are fine too. Like no one's a bad actor in this movie at
No,
all.
right.
But I was just, and I didn't mind exploring the theme of like, yeah, take away everything that kind of made this guy larger than life in the eyes of everybody else, and yeah, what are you left with? I didn't mind that kind of idea of it, but just I don't know. I said it on the podcast. Like Todd Phillips, I don't think is that interesting a filmmaker to be able to pull this off. You needed someone with a little bit more zest to be able to catapult. Like, not
That's
saying it
fair.
needs to be larger than life overall, but the musical stuff, like the stuff that I was like, oh, let's go with this. I was very much like, that's it. Like La La Land is way more invigorating than the chapel set piece. I was like, ooh, that's a nice bit of set design. That chapel set piece that they show up on to get married
Yeah.
on. I was like, that's kind of cool. But then when it's all like they're just kind of sashaying and swaying around to music.
Yeah, they're doing like
Cool.
Sonny and Cher. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you know what?
Oh, the
It
cartoon
makes
was
me
good.
the
Cartoon
cartoon.
was good.
I missed the cartoon. So I still have yet to see it. I gotta wait for some sort of physical media to come through because I definitely want to own this movie. But no, it makes me a little sad. But you know what?
Yeah.
You didn't. There's no. I can't argue against anything that you're saying. You know. And you're not saying you didn't like the movie for any dumb reason,
Right.
and that's totally fine. You know what I'm saying? Like we need more of this on the internet where it's like, okay, hey, we disagree on a thing, but it's like,
Yeah.
Okay, like, that does make me sad though. I really wish you would have liked it a lot more, because it was sort of like a shot down your alley,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's the thing is the stuff that you all were touting, I was very much like, "Oh, that's got me." Maybe it would have had me if it just been a little bit more, I don't know, something a little bit more invigorating in terms of the way it was filmed or executed. Um, yeah, but I mean, that's it. But also that's the thing. I wasn't enamored with the first film to begin with, so I
right,
was
yeah, they
definitely
had a
going in.
steeper hill to climb.
Yeah, but
No, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought that again, like there's nothing bad about any of the
sure.
performances.
How many
And
chatterangs do you give it?
I am gonna give it. Ooh, that's a tough question though. So I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 chatterangs.
Okay,
It's good. But it just does feel long, which
right.
is which is a bad thing. Like that's a big knock on it. It's kind of like you kind of slog through it. But
That was a part of it too. Was I was kind of like I can feel the length already a little bit because if it for a while it just felt like there was really no momentum to get to an ending of it
right,
just I felt it just kind of ends honestly, and
yeah,
the musical sequences I was kind of like, wow, this is adding to the length I felt a little bit more.
yeah,
I'm actually I think I gave it like a 2 out of 5 chatterangs for
yeah,
myself. Like it's nothing unwatchable. Like it's
right,
just wasn't
right.
as interesting as I thought it was, or as
It,
I
it
was maybe hoping it could be.
it was definitely different, and that is kind of what caught me on the first watch. I haven't watched it a second time, which is also, maybe kind of a telling thing. But like maybe on the second watch, I don't know if my opinion of it will change a little bit. But
Yeah,
regardless, again, like everyone did a good job, a fine
yeah,
job, and the movie is just fine. But yeah, that came out and we watched it.
we watched it. So go see it for yourself to determine like where you
Yeah,
fall on it.
maybe it's a polarizing thing. Maybe it's the cilantro of like movies. Like some
Is
people are gonna love it,
cilantro a
some people.
polarizing spice? Or
Yeah, well, because like it tastes like soap to some people, so it's like
ah,
either like the taste of cilantro or it's like eating soap.
all right. Hmm. Interesting. I've never had that descriptor tossed cilantro's way before. I'll have to ask more
Yeah.
people like soap like taste for cilantro. Interesting.
I don't know if it's like one of those rare things like you're left-handed, you're redheaded, and you
Hmm.
don't like cilantro, but like yeah, I don't.
Next
But
time I'll make a caprese salad or something like that. I'll just be watching everybody be like,
like who's
they know
not
I
eating
put
it because of the
cilantro in
cilantro?
it.
Oh yeah,
So
it's in there. It's just way down in there. It's a surprise cilantro.
who's gonna be like a little?
Oh, cilantro. Luckily, I'm not that way, so I can deal with cilantro. But
There we
like,
go.
it doesn't really. I, I don't. I don't know why everyone needs to throw it in everything. Because like I don't feel like it adds a whole bunch to whatever you're eating. But it's whatever. Cilantro
Yeah.
is.
It's whatever it is. Yeah. Well, now that we've had our nice little detour into spice territory and seasoning, let's go on to something that I think we both genuinely agree on enjoying.
If you did not enjoy this, like maybe you didn't enjoy it as much as I did, but if you did not enjoy this, I would be floored. I would be floored. It might be the end of the podcast if you didn't, because I don't know that I could ever work with you again if you're not a fan of this. Like,
Oh,
like, hey, I don't like wish ill of you, but like,
this is a personal affront to you if I didn't like it.
Like that just says something. Like my dog probably wouldn't like you then. It's like no,
Oh,
something's up.
I'd definitely be hurt by that
happened.
because your puppers are adorable.
But no, but like an alien took you over. So like this is the test. Like are you a robot? You got to click that square.
Yeah. Yep. This is my friendship captcha for you.
Yes.
We're talking about the Penguin on Max. Not this one, but the platform. Yes.
The HBO that formerly was.
8-episode drama. I mean, it's filed under being like a drama series of some kind.
Yeah,
it's crime thriller. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, those things: mob, crime, drama,
and it's all about Oz Cobb, played by Colin Farrell from The Batman from 2022, and his rise to power to become, the crime lord we know as the Penguin.
I was skeptical. I was so skeptical at the beginning of this. I was like, I don't know, guys. Like this could go either way. And
honestly, me too. I was kind of like, okay, they're gonna try to MCU the Batman now. Okay, I see what they're gonna try.
But if you're gonna do a TV show to run alongside your movie series, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Because everything that happens in the Penguin, when if in the next movie Batman and the Penguin have to fight each other, nothing that actually happened in the Penguin matters to whatever that will be. It's just like you just get to know the Penguin.
Yeah.
And but like again, like if you go watch the movie, I bet you go watch the second movie, there's not going to be really anything that is going to make, you're not missing out on anything if you don't watch the Penguin, but you should watch the Penguin because it's so good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're recommending this one.
This is hands down my favorite thing I've ever seen Colin Farrell in.
Nice.
Ever. Like, there's no argument to be made about any of his other films. I don't care how good you think he was in Bruges, freaking Minority Report, whatever. Like, no, I don't care. Okay, there's not an argument to be made.
He was definitely, I feel, born to play this iteration of the character. Like, I think we talked about this over on Three Geeks, is the idea that for a long while they tried to make him a leading man, like, dashing leading man material. I mean, he's a handsome guy, don't get me wrong.
For sure.
But like, I feel like his heart and soul resides in just being a phenomenal character actor who you just let loose on a project, even if he's just in a supporting role. But in this case, he's front and center, and you cannot take your eyes off of him.
Oh no!
And he's a non-glamorous lead for this.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Like, and I mean, like, yeah, he spends 3 hours a day in makeup.
Ugh.
3 hours a day to get the makeup for the Penguin, and like you can't tell it's Colin Farrell under there. I just watched this new Anthony Mackie movie, and he can't act. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not an Anthony Mackie fan. Like, he or it's not that he can't act, it's that like you always can tell that he's acting.
It's him at all times operating it.
Yeah, and but like Colin Farrell disappears and becomes the Penguin, and it is awesome. It is awesome. Like, it is. Kudos to him. Round of applause. Like, just so well done. I was hooked from the first episode. I was right in, and this, like, okay, here comes the bad guy. Like, let's go. They do not pull punches in this series.
No, yeah, like it feels like that one like invisible line of the Batman's PG-13 rating is just so easily crossed in this show, because there's so many times in the Batman where you're like, why don't they show like the grisliness of what actually happened there. And it's like, no, here, full on, they will. There's people getting their heads blown off.
Yeah.
There's people getting set on fire.
It-
He's strangling the hell out of people left and right and just massacring folks. It's
yeah, and and your average gun violence, like there's there's just all it hits every step of the range, and then like the psychological torture on top of everything else.
but also it doesn't feel like overkill for the sake of, okay, well, we're on max now, so we can get away with it. Like it's
Right,
it's all
ooh, it's
earned.
not like rated R in your face. It's
Right.
like just because like this is how the story went and and progressed and yeah, it's brutal.
By far,
But
like, I don't want to spoil anything for the show because I think we're just gonna say, like, go watch the show. We already did.
oh,
But
absolutely, yeah,
like
you must go watch the show.
the most unsettling death or deaths for some characters, I should say, you don't even see. It's all just implied and revealed to you like later on at the end of the show. And like the fact that he can be just that cold of a bastard, like, is
Look, there is no like it's so weird because I love the Penguin. I
Mhm.
love Colin Farrell's Penguin. I hope that they never kill him. Like this guy is such a bastard. Is so I don't even know what the word is. He is despicable.
Yeah.
And I love it. I am 100% here for it. It is he is the lowest of the low. There is not a redeeming quality to this man, and you have to see it to understand like
Mhm.
what is going down, like what this dude is capable of.
But also how far he goes to delude himself into thinking like, I am totally justified in being this horrible. Like he's like,
Yes.
I know I'm horrible, but I am totally justified because look at everybody else. And actually everyone else, sure, they're bad, but my God. Like,
Dude, no, he is awful. He's so bad. He's such a good villain. You're like you can't stand this dude. You're like, when is he gonna lose?
mm-hmm.
Like, oh my goodness. No, it is so good. It is so good, and I'm so happy that it's so good. Like, I mean, if nothing is ever else this good, at least we had this.
At least we had the Penguin. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not I can't look forward to the future anymore. Like that's been beat out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes so wrong so fast. Everything that I'm supposed to like ends up in his trash can, right? Like, um, but yeah, it's they did it. They did it here. Like we're here right now, and it happened. So I'm so thankful that this is so good because the Penguin, you gotta watch it. Like it's not even about it being a superhero thing. There's no superheroes in this at
No,
all.
no, you don't get a whiff of Batman or anybody else. I mean, you get caught up in the beginning because this takes place just a little bit of setup. It takes place a week after what
Right.
happens in the Batman.
Which is
Uh,
dope.
yeah, which is dope because everyone, all the characters you're kind of meeting, honestly, at a pretty low point, and then some try to rise above it, but then some just keep getting lower and lower, even if they don't fully realize it in the moment. Like the supporting cast is like excellent in this. Like
Yes, everyone is good. Everyone. And freaking what's his name? Who played
Victor?
Maroni?
Oh no, Clancy Brown is Sal.
Clancy Brown is in it, okay? Like
Mm-hmm.
like say less, right? Like this show is good. No, everyone is good. Who plays Sophia?
Sophia is Kristen Miliota, I want to say. I mean, she's been
She's
in a lot
good.
of stuff, but this is like a starring role for her, starring turn for her.
She's
She
great.
is awesome.
She is so good. What she in the room with them when she does that,
Yeah.
eh, I mean, powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful. She is so good. I was like, yes, and I'm so glad. Oh, I don't want to spoil anything,
Yeah, it's hard
but
not to.
no, I'm so glad everything happens the way it does.
Yeah.
Um, I and yeah, it's oh god, I can't wait
Is
for season 2, but I'm so happy for season 1.
you mentioned something about Arkham in one of our earlier talks, when the way Arkham's represented, not just in the show but in the universe in general, is kind of being like the one nitpicky type of thing.
Yeah, I don't, and it's only really the set
Hmm.
and like the props that I have the problem with because
Yeah,
it's kind of cartoony.
it feels like it should be on Gotham.
Yes, yeah, it's CW.
It looks like the
That's
Gotham
exactly what
show,
it is.
honestly. Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that.
and
But
and
that
it's
was it.
I mean, it's a consistency thing too, because honestly, whenever we did see the Riddler in Gotham in the Batman, I was kind of like, that kind of looks like the Gotham set a little bit.
Yeah, they gotta save money somehow.
You
So
gotta,
like they
yeah.
gotta cut some corners. Like they're like, that's fine, it'll work. We can
But
make it.
I get what you're saying. Where this version of the Batman world is really embracing. I mean, Nolan's, for all its flights of fancy, was grounded, but this one tries to be really, really grounded, like to the point where
Yes.
it's like everything looks industrial and dilapidated to this point.
Yeah,
But
it's
then you have,
like Blade Runner, the Gotham City.
yeah, yeah, quite a bit.
Almost. So it's
So
a
no, but everything else is like, yeah, phenomenally solid. Like Victor, Sophia, Sal, his mom. Oh my god,
his
his
mom.
mom.
His mom. Oh my goodness. No, like it's just, like even the kids. Even
Hmm.
the kids
Oh,
were
the kids playing
yeah,
like young versions of characters.
yes.
Yeah.
I like it was dope. You must go watch this. If you like The Sopranos, go watch it. If you like Batman, go watch it. Like
Hmm.
there's no reason to not go watch it. It's so good.
Yeah. And I am genuinely curious, even though you mentioned earlier, like you could go into the Batman 2 whenever that comes out in, I think, 2026,
Mm.
and not having seen the show, and you could still pick up with Colin Farrell's pen, because I think he is gonna be in it.
Yeah, he's got to be.
He's
Like
gotta
he's
be.
got to be right. Like that would be a crime. That would be a crime.
Hmm.
That he's got to be.
I'm
I'm just
definitely gonna
trying
be
to
curious to
imagine
see how they connect
where he's
dots.
gonna be at.
Yeah,
Because like again, like this is just the beginning,
yeah.
and so I'm so very much interested in the trajectory of this.
And honestly, that one kind of lingering question that I did have from the first episode, which was Batman Batman's busy, I guess. It wasn't. I mean, it makes sense the more and more the show goes on. It's like Gotham's a sprawling place with all these different subcultures to it, and all these dealings going on behind the scenes. Like, and also it being a young Batman who he doesn't have like his omnipresent brother eye whatever thing going on.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be all over the place covering every single crime that happens.
No.
So
And
I'm also
also,
they don't
it's
mention him a
like
lot too. So
no, but I think what's very, very interesting is like this is the cauldron that will brew a Batman. Like this is what you need. This is
yeah.
the fire that you need to make Batman like a Batman.
The more
Like
proactive type of
yeah. So
Batman. Yeah,
I like that's why I'm super interested. It's like yeah, there's enough chaos going on from the Riddler's actions that all of this because it all happens relatively quick
yeah,
also
yeah. It's
so
like all the events of this entire show take place like within a month at most, probably,
yeah but
if
maybe
that.
no because like the time for certain things to incubate has to be included in
I
here.
guess. Yeah.
So like there's a bit of like a time
Skip.
jump, but
Yeah.
even still, like to for a certain mass detective to stumble onto the yada yada yada, then connect all the dots and then make sure you get everything right, and then go kick everyone's ass.
Hmm.
Like this is moving pretty quick.
But I honestly love too that, yeah, this is its own thing, absolutely, and tries to remain grounded, because honestly, how often is the random masked vigilante guy going to pop up in conversation when you're dealing drugs and when you're, doing like
Right,
this,
like
he's not a pressing concern when you're in a gang war.
right,
So,
and he's like just one guy, and yeah, and
yeah.
it's yeah, it's whatever, and also like he's very they he just showed up too,
Yeah.
like
And
So
also, I love like what it has to say about sort of like class division too, because the reason why they're feeling a little bit more emboldened to operate the way they do is because like no one's giving a crap about what we're doing here because we're disaster central and everyone's focused on taking care of what's going on in the main hub of the city. It's like
right.
we're out here
Yeah.
on the skirts of things, and honestly, that ties into his his number two, I guess, Victor. And man, his
Oh
story is
my
so sad.
goodness. Oh, you know, and okay, tiny spoiler here. I was a little perturbed by they're bringing in a Jason Todd. You know, like he
Mm,
is
yeah.
like beat for
Okay. Yeah.
beat Jason Todd.
I get what you're saying. Like meets him the same way he meets Jason. Yeah.
Right. Like takes him in, makes him his number two. Like
Not quite as affectionate, but
yeah, but I mean, like, you know, still like, yeah, okay, yeah. Anyway, so
I get you.
I loved him though. Vic
Hmm.
is God, what a great performance! What a good character.
Also, to kind of spoil a little something, it's like, and he has an opportunity to get out, and
Yeah,
he does not take it, mainly just because he is just that loyal. Like you just get that sense like loyalty is something really important to this
yeah.
kid, no matter who he's loyal to. And he has an opportunity to just be like home free, and he does not take it because of loyalty. It's like, oh man, oh
Yeah,
kid.
no, you're right. Yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, you're young.
Well,
But
yeah,
yeah, so yeah, Vic, what a great character. I love that. Yeah, like that's a character that they, you know, they've made up for the show. It's not like,
yeah.
you know, kind of like they do kind of pull some names, like obviously like Maroney
Maroney. There,
and
the character
Sophia.
Squid. I found the character Squid was actually like a low rent like gang villain from Batman comics. I didn't realize.
Okay.
I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
okay,
dope. Yeah. So that's cool.
Magpie's in it for a little bit.
Magpie. Yeah. Friggin' they do drop some names, but it like this character and the mom
Yeah.
were
Oh
two
man.
created characters for this, and I love their addition
Hmm.
to the universe. It is they were both so good.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I kept feeling like at some point part of me was gonna go like, oh, that's a trope from another show or something like that. I'm like, no, they're making it their own because we mobster and mom like sure
Yeah, that's yeah,
that's the
Sopranos.
Sopranos, but this dynamic, holy shit, it is so like
Oh man,
twisted,
yeah,
so
they
sad, and
just terrible. Yeah, like oh god, Penguin is so awful. He's so
yeah.
awful. He is the worst person. He's
But
just
like you
such a
said,
terrible person.
even though he probably deserves death, we hope it never comes to him because he's
Oh
also
no,
just really
no, they got to
entertaining
keep
to
this guy
watch.
around. Yeah, like it is so. I mean, he's too good. You know,
He's too
like
good.
it's too good. No, I see. What like the wand maker in Harry Potter when he's like he
Oh, the
did
wand.
great things.
Yeah.
Terrible, but they were great.
Right. Right.
That's,
Oh
that's
yeah.
what this dude is ready for. I cannot wait for this to continue. I'm so happy that this was good. Like, and you know, I think it's better when I go into it not knowing anything or thinking that it might be bad, you know,
Then
and when it rises out of that hole, like I'm just like, okay, hey, like I didn't give you the chance, but you came and took the chance anyway. I like kudos to everyone involved. It's just so very
brilliant.
well done.
Yeah. How many chatterings would you give the
Four
series?
out of five. 4 out of 5 chatterings for me.
Wow.
It the only like if that Arkham was a little different and there's just like a couple little tiny things that'll make
Right.
it like not get the fives, but and I don't want to just give out fives.
No, I get you.
But this one it's you gotta see it, you gotta go watch it. I don't see how you have like there's no real argument for it to be like bad. Like
Right.
you know, there's nothing in there where I'm just like, okay, I see that. Like I don't. If you like the crime mobster stuff, this is for you.
Yeah. I'm with you. I give it 4 as well. Yeah, aside from just which I'll honestly kind of forgive, because as gritty and as down to earth as they'll make this series, it's still Batman. So there's
Yeah,
gonna be
right, yeah.
there's gonna be some fantastical stuff. 4 out of 5 as well. It's unfortunate that they couldn't get Toro to come back as Carmine, but you know what? Mark Strong
Does a fine job.
easily does a good job filling in those shoes.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's not really like they use the character
Yeah,
all
I mean,
that.
he's not like a hyper focused like point in it. In like
Right.
one episode, and then that's it.
Yeah. So that was totally fine. I did not mind that at all. Yeah, it would have been nice, but like we don't need that cherry.
People
Okay,
get
like,
recast and stuff
there's
all the
enough
time.
cherries on this cake.
Yeah.
We don't need that one. But
Yeah.
no, but like, hey, like John Turturro, what's up? Like, how come you didn't do the show? It was just one episode.
I saw a post a couple weeks ago where apparently he was like, I don't know. It just seemed like there was a lot of violence being perpetrated on women in the show that I just didn't want to be a part of it. I'm like, remember what your character did in the movie?
The girl in the movie.
It's like, remember what your character did in the movie?
Killed her mom the same
Yep.
way. And like, I mean, hey, it's sure, whatever, man. Hey, whatever. Okay?
It worked.
I can't argue that. You don't feel like there should be violence towards women? I agree with you.
I agree with you.
Right. Yeah. That's it. Wish you would have been in the show, but I can't argue that. I agree with you.
It is what it is. And hey, I feel like, you know what? We had some pretty kick-ass women characters in this show that more than
my goodness,
delivered some hurt on people who deserved it. So
like the mom, we already mentioned the mom and Sophia, but the girlfriend,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
is such a good character. And I mean, the scene between her and Sophia I thought was excellent.
Just a standoff, like,
yeah, but like, God, I know we're not doing spoilers, but yeah, I will dissect this right now with you. For the next 3.5 hours, we'll have a megasode. But no, that scene where it was very, obviously, bad things were supposed to, like, if bad things happen, one wouldn't see why, like, they're like, okay, that makes sense, given the dynamic, right? But the way it all works out is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's one of the most memorable scenes out of the whole series for me.
And honestly, I feel that's one of the strengths of this being a show, as opposed to like a spin-off movie or whatever people try to do sometimes with the shared universe concept. You give it time, you give the actors time to really explore and delve into these roles a little bit more, and you write them some good stuff that can last a couple of episodes, that gives them full-on arcs that don't feel either squeezed into something that already has a lot of other subplots going on for 2 hours, or loses focus eventually. So
and
everyone got focus.
I wonder if you could splice 2 or maybe 3 episodes together, right? Like in a block, and release that, and would it work as a movie film?
Curious, because there are shows that do that have like mini arcs comprised of like 2 or 3 episodes, and you kind of wonder, like, would those stand on their own as solid feature length installments, or is it lacking because there's going to be other installments?
Yeah, and like sometimes it's like budgetary. You just like you can tell this is made for TV. But like we don't get that here. Like
no,
this
looks like it's right at home in Matt Reeves' world. So.
Right, and so I'm wondering, like, and that would be cool. Yeah, hey, like theaters, like, really, like, you want? I'll count. I would watch. Like, hey, we're showing Penguin 1, 2, and 3, which is the season of the Penguin.
Maybe that'll be one of those marathon things that some of the chains like to do. When the Batman 2 comes out, they'll be like, here's the first one. We're gonna dedicate a full week to Penguin episodes, and then right before the big one.
I've always wanted to own a movie theater and do things like that.
That would be cool. Honestly.
Yeah. Like that would be. That's on the bucket list for sure. But yeah, like I feel like it holds up. The quality of it is thus that it could be a feature length film.
Well, there we go. Well, we got to make our Bat Cave or our Chat Cave a reality, so we can have our own movie theater in there. Make it work.
Yes, a Chat Cave in the theater. Oh, that would be dope. Yep. I'm loving this dream more and more. We're gonna make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen. But yeah, so those are our thoughts on Joker, Folie Deux, and The Penguin. Go check them out for yourselves. Give them a watch. See what you like, what you don't like, and
I'm most interested in the Folie à Deux just because I feel like, yeah, I was shocked when a lot of people didn't like that movie.
mhm.
But then, you know, like, again, yeah, it might be just like a cilantro thing. Like it just tastes like soap to a lot of
Yep.
people.
Who's to
That
say?
would be the most interesting to me. So yeah, comment below, please.
Yep.
Let us know how you feel about it, and if you have that, I will not abide a derogatory word to the Penguin. Okay, like if you want to fight me, say bad things about the Penguin.
Well, now you're inviting challenge, so there we go.
No, it was just so good. I don't know how you could argue that it was bad, but yeah, friggin' we did it. We got here.
We got
We're
here.
in the times where there's like, and if you don't like Joker, at least it's something we're both willing to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that's out there that's different. It's like at least it's different from some of the more generic stuff that we can get. So, um, as always, you've been listening here to the Chat Cave here on McGTV. Check out more. Check out our actual Chat Cave episode, which was out before this. See more Blaximus over at the Three Geeks podcast. And yeah, thanks so much. Check out the movie. Check out the shows, and we'll have more.
We'll catch you same chat time, same chat channel, Mike McGTV.